All right, my top 10 Saw films. Also, you, comment down below in your top 10. I would love to read the order and why if you want. Down below in the comment section, like and subscribe. But here's my top 10 real fast. If you see me looking down, I'm looking down at my list. Number 10, Jigsaw. Most stale movie of all of them. Worst twist ever. I hated the twist in this movie. Best poster. I love the cracked face paint of John Kramer. Number 9, Spiral. They marketed this movie as it's going to be so different because Chris Rock's in it. And he was like, all right, I make a different movie. The behind the scenes of his logic for these movies is like, oh, Morgan Freeman, if he was in 7, it would be a different movie. But it'd be the same movie. I'm like, nothing you said makes any sense. And you weren't funny in the movie. I don't think you were funny. And also, lame twist. Number 8, Saw 3, where they made the worst mistake of their life in killing Jigsaw himself. It's like killing Freddy Krueger in his franchise and trying to recover after that. Also, all the victims in the movie, they were real murder victims. Like, I like the idea that they get to decide by playing the game if they live or die. And this guy has to walk around forgiving people, so everyone he has to forgive is just fucked if he doesn't forgive them. Don't like that. Contradicts the message. Number 7, Saw 7 is the most B-rate cheesy over the top of the movies. So, it has a decent twist with Florence Gordon being one of the Jigsaws. It's the only time I ever liked an alternate Jigsaw was him. It's a very fun, entertaining movie, but it's very cheesy, very hokey. Number 6, Saw 4. Saw 4 and Saw 5 are kind of the generic ones. So number 5 is Saw 5. I thought Saw 5 has one of the more fun games. I think it was a teams one where they all realized they had to work together at the end. But, yeah, Saw 4 and Saw 5 is where the story gets very convoluted. It's still entertaining, it's still interesting, but it gets so muddled with its history. And this is when they started flashbacking like hell, and I'm like, alright. And this is when it gets Jigsaw's lame-ass wife in it that ends up doing basically nothing. But Saw 4 and 5 are kind of the same movie to me. I do like Peter Straub getting squished by the wall. And I like the tracheotomy thing, where he gives himself a tracheotomy because Alder Discount Saw tried to get him, and he figured out a clever solution out. Number 4, Saw 2. Saw 2, I think it's genuinely a pretty decent movie. I love that the game is sit down with Jigsaw and have a conversation. I love to have a conversation with that guy. The twist is fantastic. I love your son's in a safe place. The combination is in the back of your mind. And it's a recording. Great stuff. I love the police get their ass kicked, too. It's where Jigsaw felt like the most powerful villain he's ever been. Truly a mastermind in this movie. Number 3, Saw 6. Great lesson to teach America about our fucked up healthcare system. I love that it's a health insurance guy who runs like every one of these insurance places. Once you need their help, they look for every excuse to get out of it. And I love that this guy has to go through this entire hellish game because he is one of these people in real life. You're so rooting against him. And then when he's trying to learn his lesson by the end, he has to be forgiven by the kid and wife of the guy who he killed because the guy had a tooth thing. And he couldn't pay for his heart surgery because of that technicality. Great stuff. Number 2, Saw. Saw's the movie started off. Great editing. Very entertaining. Like, you can tell this Kevin Gruder is a fan of fucking 7 and its editing. Greatest twist ever. Carrie Elwes gives a great performance. Lee Winnell does not. But good story. Flashbacks with the FBI. Great. Jigsaw makes the biggest entrance of all time with that phenomenal ending. One of the best endings, I'd argue, in movie history. People don't give it what it deserves. They let's look at Saw's torture porn. One of the best endings of all time. Him standing up was so impactful. Finding out that Zepp isn't Jigsaw is so impactful. Him freaking out and killing Zepp. Lawrence Gordon cutting his leg off and leaving the room. And then him saying, game over, is so iconic to me. One of the best endings of any movie of all time. And number 1 is Saw X. I think Saw X was the best story, contained story. You know, it wasn't convoluted with this historical backstory of Jigsaw. It wasn't confusing in any way. It didn't chronologically fuck up the timeline, really. It made sense. It had a great first act that led to you being empathetic towards John Kramer. It explains he's not really a villain. He's more of a vigilante. A very scary vigilante. If you look at him as a villain, he's like Thanos, where you understand why he's doing it, at least. Great performance by Tobin Bell. Sad that they killed these fucking characters because they are so old. You could tell because this takes place between 1 and 2. And they look so much older. But yeah, graphic, gory. That first game that the first woman plays where she has to saw her thigh off and take the bone marrow out. Worst game ever. I could have done, I think, the radiation one where I had to like break my wrist and break my ankle. But that game I couldn't have done. And real villains that he's up against. This woman is a true villain that you're rooting against. And I'm like, this is the point of Jigsaw. To punish terrible people. And this is a terrible woman setting him up for the cancer thing. Oh my God. I bet people like this exist. Taking advantage of old people. So, yeah, and the ending with the kid strapped to the thing and the blood coming down and the woman... I saw that twist from a mile away. I knew that was going to happen. It's the one time it's like I called this twist from a mile away. Because the Saw franchise is a movie franchise where the twist gets spelled out after the second one. The first two have the best twist of the entire franchise. 3 and on, you can kind of see them coming for a lot of the time, for most of the time. I think Saw 7, where Lawrence Gordon is another Jigsaw, is the only other one I never saw coming. But yeah, very entertaining franchise, underrated, not just torture porn, but it could definitely be remade and be executed better. And I would love a Saw franchise remake. Tobin Bell is a great actor. He's too old to keep going. Let's have this 10 and then remake the franchise with a better writer and better director who really gets it. And let Kevin Gruder edit it, though. He's a great editor. So, yeah, there's my franchise rankings. Comment yours down below. I'd love to read them.